Good afternoon. Hello my dear students, very good afternoon. We shall start the Hindu news analysis. I know that all of you are preparing hard and are in the final lap of your State Bank of India prelims examination. The prelims tests are to begin on July 10. They are conducted in 4 days, so you are in the last lap and you are working hard. But watching the daily news analysis must be a daily routine. I know that that is going to do a great help to all of you when you approach the mains exam, where general awareness will matter. So we shall start. July 7. Amid cabinet reshuffle buzz, 8 states get new governors. GST mop-up in June falls below rupees 1 lakh crore. These are the major news items. Amid cabinet reshuffle buzz, 8 states get new governors, new gubernatorial appointments, which are very important from the perspective of the examination. New governors are appointed to Karnataka, Mizoram, Goa, Tripura, Jharkhand, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh. Major gubernatorial reshuffle has taken place. You should learn all the names. There is no other go. You have to, you must. So please go through the names. Talwar Chand Gehlot, Karnataka. Hari Babu Kambham Patil, Mizoram. P.S. Sridharan Pillai from Kerala, Goa. Satyadev Narayan Arya, Tripura. Ramesh Bais, Jharkhand. Bandaru Dattatreya, Haryana. Mangubai Chandanbhai Patel, Madhya Pradesh. Rajendra Vishwanath Artekar, Himachal Pradesh. So these are the new gubernatorial appointments. Most of them are reshuffling, so you must please note the names, and that are very important for your exam. GST mop-up in June falls below rupees 1 lakh crore, which will definitely be a great disappointment to the government, because it was only 2 months ago that it touched the last month that it touched the highest level of 1.41 lakh crore. But even at that time, this is June, so it was in May, April that it touched the highest 1.41 lakh crore. Now it has again touched a lower level of 92,849 crore. Lower GST collections reflect poor economic transactions within the economy. So that's a great disappointment, but of course that was definitely due to the lockdown at the state level. Most of the states have gone for almost complete lockdown, keeping many places under containment zone, so the transactions were not taking place as the usual case being within the economy. GST collections in June fell to 98,849 crore. This is not to be taken down. This is not that important, but you should understand the pattern of economic activity. Post lockdown, this is what, May 2020, so it is almost stabilizing, then going up, but now it is falling down. Last year the problem was that people had money with them, but they did not have the option to spend and buy things. So it was mostly a supply side constraint, because economy was locked down. Even though people had money, they could not buy. So supply side was difficult, production was almost stopped, distribution was almost stopped. But this time it is not a national lockdown, it is statewide now lockdowns, and many states have allowed shops to open, but the problem is that people do not have money. So it's a demand crisis now, which is more severe, which will apply more severe stress on the economy. After 8 months, the indirect tax collections fell below 1 lakh crore. So for the past 8 months, it has been more than 1 lakh crore. And many economists were saying that it was due to the pent-up demand that was the result of the first national lockdown. 30% fall in e-way bill generation in May. E-way bills are required to transfer commodities from one place to the other if the commodity value is more than 50,000. So lower e-way bills generated means lower transactions, high value transactions. Release Bhima Korey case accused, says the UN body. UN High Commissioner, UN Human Rights Chief Michelle Bachelet says that all the 15 co-accused in the Bhima Korey case must be released pending trial. See, listen, we discussed in detail that Father Stan Swami was Stan Swami passed away in hospital. He was also an accused in the Bhima Korey case. UNHRC called for Indian government to ensure that no one is detained for exercising the fundamental right to freedom of expression, of peaceful assembly and of association. Mind you, these are guaranteed by the Indian Constitution. These are guaranteed fundamental rights, and we have a fundamental right to that, and under any draconian law, these basic fundamental constitutional rights should not be taken away from the people. So the UNHRC chief says that the rights that are guaranteed by the Indian Constitution must be given to all the 15 co-accused in the Bhima Korey case, implicated in the Bhima Korey case. A death foretold, a Hindu editorial, a very plain, bold, blunt editorial on the death of Stan Swami, Father Stan Swami. Listen, 84-year-old Jesuit priest known for his service to the people of Jharkhand, Adivasis, who died for the cause, he died for the cause of Adivasis. He died 9 months into his unjust imprisonment on tenuous charges, absolutely tenuous charges. So 84-year-old Jesuit priest Father Stan Swami, known for his service in the cause of Adivasis, died in 9 months into his unjust imprisonment on tenuous charges. A death that was simply allowed to happen. Very true. A death that was simply allowed to happen. The inevitable death was foretold by his deteriorating health in prison. He was not allowed to use even a sipper to drink water. He had memory loss, he had Parkinson's disease, he could not move from his bed. So despite all these things, he was not allowed even interim bail. His age and frailty drew no mercy, no sympathy from either prosecuting agency or the trial court, which stuck to the state narrative. That's the issue. The courts, the prosecutors, the investigating agency all clubbed together, and they tend to believe only the state narrative of there being grounds to believe that this 84-year-old frail priest was a part of Maoist plot to overthrow the government. There is no history of Maoist people overthrowing any government in India so far. His death will weigh on country's conscience for long, says the Hindu. Very true statement. Please read and make opinions. Super censorship, MP's panel grills Ministry of Information and Technology. The Standing Committee on IT, Information Technology, which is headed by the parliamentarian from Thiruvananthapuram, Dr. Shashi Tharoor grilled the ministry on super censorship clause introduced in the draft cinematograph bill. In this particular bill, there was a provision given. It provided for, this particular bill provides for the state to re-censor the films that are already censored and certified by the Central Board of Film Certification, CBFC. The draft bill confers revisional powers to the government on films that are certified by CBFC, and the Standing Committee on Parliamentary Standing Committee on Information Technology Ministry sought the reason and motivation behind this particular clause. The grilling will continue before the parliamentary committee would make its opinion. Ethiopia resumes filling disputed dam. This is going to be the biggest dam in Africa. Ethiopia restarted work to fill mega dam in Upper Blue Nile. Listen, future wars are going to be for water. There are ample evidence to believe most of the wars in Africa, inner fighting, all these happen for the want of Nile water. India and Pakistan, there are disputes on dividing Himalayan rivers. China is constructing huge dams that would prevent water flow to India and Bangladesh. So the future wars or future disputes will be on sharing of water. The name of the dam is Grand Renaissance Dam, Africa's biggest hydroelectric project when completed. Egypt and Sudan have already aired their reservations on the dam construction. They believe that the dam will restrict water access to their people. Egypt and Sudan have already raised the issue in the United Nations against the decision of Addis Ababa, capital of Ethiopia, against Ethiopia on the dam construction. This dam construction was stopped for a while. Now Ethiopia has started reconstructing or restarted the construction. Oil soars to multi-year high as OPEC plus stocks collapse. OPEC means oil producing and exporting countries. OPEC plus means OPEC plus Russia and a few other oil exporting nations. There was a demand from most of the developing countries, especially India, to increase production. This was a demand made to OPEC nations. So OPEC countries convened and they have decided against increasing production and thereby supply. So oil is going to cost us more, and that is going to steal the benefits of so-called growth that developing countries have made. There will be a cash flight, capital flight from developing nations to OPEC countries. It's quite unfortunate that OPEC is not taking the share of the grievance faced by the globe, by all the countries due to pandemic. OPEC have asked us, when we asked OPEC countries to increase production, OPEC have asked us to consume strategic reserves. Government of India said that we have already exhausted. But the real villain here is not the oil price, it is the high taxes that are levied by both the central government and the state government. Central government increased the taxes from just less than 10 rupees to nearly 33-34 rupees during the first wave of pandemic. So now when the oil prices go up, they are not ready to reduce the excise duty. That is why we have to pay the price. Petrol prices have crossed 100 rupee almost everywhere in India, and diesel is also very close to 100. That is going to create a cascading effect in prices of various commodities, because India is a mammoth nation and goods and services, goods have to come from long distances. So soon it will have inflationary pressure. Already it is to be seen, already it has crossed the so-called tolerance level of 6%, it has crossed that. So the days are going to be very difficult for us. OPEC producers clashed over plans to raise supply to meet rising global demand. Brent crude, this is what we depend on. We depend on Brent crude. Hit session 77.84 per barrel. High oil prices will steal the benefits of economic growth of developing nations. It is not the benefit of growth, it is all about survival. Our economic survival is dependent on smoother supply, greater production, and that is what is being hit by lower production. Thank you very much, my dear students. Continue to read the newspapers. That is very essential for your intellectual growth, for your success in the examinations. Make sure that all of you read well, all of you spend good quality 1.5 to 2 hours in front of the Hindu reading the papers. At 3 o'clock we shall come again with another session of the online classes. We will have a session on either math, English or reasoning. Till then, goodbye. Have a good day.